No, this is not a review of the Mavic 2 because I'm not buying one. Let me tell you why. Hi, I'm Ash from DroningON, and this is not another Mavic 2 unboxing video. I'm sure you're relieved to hear that. YouTube is currently swamped with videos like that. I'm sure you're fed up of the sight of packaging and boxes, so that's not what I'm going to be doing here. In fact, I haven't even ordered a Mavic 2 yet, and no one's offered to send me one. In this video, I'll tell you why there are several good reasons to wait. Now, the DJI Mavic 2 Pro and Zoom models are both kind of based on the original Mavic Pro, but let's face it, the Mavic Pro is now 3 years old, and if you look at the new Mavic 2 models, they are very different. The two new models incorporate different internals, different electrics, new sensors, new design, weight, size, and much more. So essentially, they're like a new product. For that reason, over the next 6 months, I expect us to see quite a few issues. And I don't mean software, I mean with the hardware. We have already seen photos circulating around the internet that show a gimbal apparently unstuck from its mount. Now, this is one isolated issue. There are no other reports of this. However, no doubt DJI have taken note, and I'm sure that some quality control guy has probably been down to the factory floor to ensure that that glue is dolloped on a little more heavily. 3 years ago, when the original Mavic Pro was launched, DroningON maintained one of the most comprehensive guides of hardware issues and fixes, many of which were, unfortunately, raise a ticket with DJI. Now, over the years, many of those hardware issues have disappeared, not just through software updates, but I believe through minor hardware revisions. By that, I mean a slight change somewhere to a component or the way in which something is put together. Now, a manufacturer is unlikely to list these hardware revisions because essentially they're admitting that they got it wrong, and it opens up some legal consequences in regards to all the other drones that are currently out there having been sold. The worst nightmare for a manufacturer would be to admit we got it wrong, and next thing you know, 100,000 customers want their drones replacing. The other alternative, of course, is that a mass group of consumers could prompt a recall, and no manufacturer wants that, even if morally it might be the right thing to do. One perfect example of that on the original Mavic Pro is the gimbal and its ribbon cable issue. Even now, 3 years later, DJI don't seem to have fixed that properly. So in summary, lots of people have just bought the Mavic 2. I'm not saying that they are guinea pigs or beta testers, but they do give an opportunity for any issues to be spotted early and fixed via these hardware revisions over the next 3 to 6 months. That's one reason why I'm going to be waiting. Now, as we know, the DJI Go app is used not just for the Mavic, but for every other drone that DJI produce, and also their non-drone products as well. For that reason, it could be looked at as a fairly mature app, but as we all know, DJI Go app has some problems. For every product that DJI bolt onto their app, it opens up a whole new set of brand new libraries and code, and for that reason, it might be worth just giving it a bit of time to let that software evolve for any bugs to be fixed and removed. The last thing you want is a brand new portion of that app being responsible for your drone flying away. Now, here's an interesting one. DJI quite often release a product and then they release a series of special limited editions or different bundles. So at first we've just got the basic drone or the combo Fly More. There might be some more on the horizon, and so within the next 3 to 6 months we might see those appearing, as well as possibly a few price changes, but that's quite unlikely because the Mavic 2 is such a new product. So already this year we've seen the Autel Evo, we've seen the unique Mantis Q announced, and probably more on the horizon. The introduction of the Mavic 2 sets a brand new baseline in the drone sector, and it's really going to push manufacturers to go beyond their boundaries and to produce something truly amazing. DJI at the moment have a free run of the market, and rightly so. Their products are brilliant, but I think we'll see some interesting competitors growing this year. The Autel Evo really does seem to be the next closest best thing to the Mavic 2 right now, but it is still inferior. So within 3 to 6 months, maybe it's a good idea to hold off just to see what else might appear in the market. Now, here's another reason that many of you will probably sympathise with. I've got a Mavic Pro, and I have to confess, I barely fly that one as it is. I'm normally flying drones that I'm testing, or I'm flying my racing quads. On that basis, my current Mavic Pro literally does everything I need. It's got 4K video, it flies for a pretty long time, I've got spare batteries and accessories for it already. Why buy anything else? Now, whilst it's really cool to have the next best thing, it's not always necessary. And it is a lot of money to spend on something that's just going to sit on a shelf in your spare bedroom, not doing anything. And of course, for batteries, that's not good. So consider buying a Mavic 2 when you genuinely need it. If you don't fly your drone that often, and if you're quite happy with the flight time and the durability of your current Mavic Pro, why change it? Now, this one's a bit hard for me to say, I'm sorry DJI, but I think the Mavic 2 is a bit of an anti-climax release. I love the fact that there are two options, the zoom and the 1-inch sensor, but in all honesty, I don't understand why the gimbal and the camera unit is still not hot swappable. Based on the many issues with the current Mavic Pro's gimbal and camera and ribbon cable, I am really surprised that DJI didn't make the move to just simply create a camera and gimbal module that slots in and slots out. If the gimbal and the camera unit was simply hot swappable, not only would it make the manufacturing process much easier for DJI, but it would make replacing it much easier for the consumer, because the gimbal will always be a fragile part regardless of how carefully you fly your drone. It would also give consumers the ability to easily hot swap between the 1-inch sensor and the zoom camera. So it just seems like a real miss there. And then there's the design and the form factor of the Mavic 2. I just think it's a bit of a disappointment. But that's my opinion. We're all going to have a different opinion on this, so do comment below with your thoughts. And finally, there's only one other reason why I'm not buying a Mavic 2 now, and that's because I don't want to review it now whilst there are already 100 brand new reviews of the Mavic 2 on YouTube. Instead, I'm going to do as I did with the Mavic Pro. I'm not going to buy it 3 years later, but I am going to buy it perhaps in 6 months' time. It just means that I'll be able to provide a fresh perspective on a drone that people are still buying and still know nothing about when they're buying it. Reviewing a drone that's 6 months old is not pointless, because those issues that persisted 6 months ago are probably not there 6 months later. So it provides a much better perspective on a drone that someone's looking to buy there and then at the time. Anyway, they're my thoughts. Comment below on any of these topics. Thank you very much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up and click share. Of course, if you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. And thank you very much for watching.